what I'm saying is this. I'm saying that from those, whether it's $100, $250, or $500, a portion of that money is used for the court budget. And as it goes, I mean, you can tell me if it's similar in your courts, but I imagine somewhere between, 96 to 98% of the cases that come through probably plead guilty in your docket and dockets across.
Of course they do.
Okay.
And everywhere. But
and what I'm saying is, it's that 98% and the reliance on that number of cases coming through, and I'm not saying anyone's doing anything wrong, but if it's $100 or $500, whatever it is, it's those revenues.
I think you're simplifying it by that because my funding unit funds my court. End of story. I don't. I don't get funds. Yeah, sure, that money goes back into the school, but it goes back into the city. But I don't.
Here's my point.
I've got a budget that's set. I don't.
If somebody,
I guess what are you gonna do? If you're gonna want to stop. I mean, I don't see the argument to me just isn't there. It's because 70% of our funding is coming from the fines and costs.
No, the argument is this: that the argument is not that judges are abusing the right to fine and punish. I don't think that's the argument. They're doing it as they're supposed to. What they're saying, though, is when they are presiding over a case and the decision to dismiss or the decision to put someone on probation or the decision to take an action that results in some payments being made inherently results in monies going to the budget. And in other words, if they dismiss the case, they lose out on that potential cost. And I'm not saying that
I can tell you that in 10 years on the bench, I've never not dismissed a case, double negative there, to save money for the budget. And it's just, it's not in my makeup. It's not in my DNA. If there's someone doing it, shame on them.
Well, I hear you, and I was not accusing the municipalities.
No, I don't think
I was, and I'm not even.
I have a hard time. I guess I just have a hard time with it, and I probably shouldn't.
Well, you mentioned how some of the judges don't.
Well, here's my question: do you think Grosse Pointe has?
It's quite a question, David.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the question.
Yeah, he blanked out.
He'll be back. He was gathering his.
He'll be back.
My question was, listen, Ted, I was, I'm trying to reflect what this report was saying. You know what I mean? I don't even, I'm just like a, the messenger. And
I don't agree with it, but that's fine. I don't have to agree with it.
But there is.
I don't know any judge who's kept someone on probation or found them guilty or done something like that for the finances of court. If they're finding someone guilty, I think in their mind they think they're guilty, or they're putting them on probation, they think that's what they need, or the fine they ordering they think is appropriate. I just have never felt that, and I've probably, I've been practicing law 28 years, so that's what I'll say.
All right, an argument could maybe be made that the description of some of the judges that have lost their basic common sense of decency of humans, that description of that characterization of how some folks on the bench could be perceived.
Yeah.
Is
sure. I guess I was more how they treat people.
Well,
and I think,
and people become like a dollar that's kind of grinding. It's like hurry up, get in line and pay your money. Hurry up and get they're not dispensing justice. They're not looking out. And again, it's the business of the criminal defense has become a business a little bit. There's a lot of customers. A lot of laws being made, a lot of tickets being. There's another report, Ted. The governor had asked for a report regarding the overcrowding of prisons in Michigan, and that report came back with, we have too many laws. There's too many tickets being written. People are charging. The police are charging people for stupid, irrelevant tickets. They bring them into court. They get caught up in a 2-year probation, fines and costs. It double, triples their. And then they're on probation. They violate. They get sent to jail. That's what the problems are. We've got too much.
That's a legislative problem, Mike. It's not a court problem. The police are there to enforce the laws. They stop a guy and he's got a driving license suspended. They bring him in because that's what they're charged to do. But I read that report that came from Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist.
Well, the point was, they're trying to ascertain why do we have such an why is the prisons filled up? And because there's a lot of misdemeanor activity, right? You know what I mean?
Well, that goes to the bond issue.
The bond issue is another one, right? But there's a lot of people in jail for misdemeanors, right?
No doubt.
And that's what I'm saying. And it may not even be from coming in right out of the game, but other things associated with their case afterwards. And this does nobody any good. And really, the question I thought that was being posed in that report was, not the question, but the conclusions were there are ways. It's not even a legislative thing. It's policy in a way. It's policy. Like, for example, the Michigan State Police and a lot of the sheriffs across, not the Michigan State Police, a lot of sheriffs across the state would say, we're not enforcing the, stay-at-home order. Don't call us. Call the government. Like, how can they do that? How can they choose to decide, that they're not going to enforce the law? Call the Attorney General's office. Too confusing for us. You know what I mean? Like, that's not. There's policies